Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Salam sejahtera dan salam We Love UPM. Selamat pagi, selamat berhujung minggu kepada semua penonton dan selamat datang ke Virtual CE UPM Fest My Career at MOH 20 dengan kerjasama UPM dan KPT bersama saya Syazana Nabila selaku moderator anda pada hari ini. Jadi hari ini merupakan hari ke-6 kita bersiaran dan sekali lagi kami membawakan tajuk yang sangat menarik untuk dikongsikan kepada anda semua iaitu Cabaran Mendepani Norma Baharu Dunia Pekerjaan bersama Management Director Q3 Solution Puan Emiliawati Zainol. Jadi sebelum saya menyerahkan virtual mic ini kepada Puan Emilia, suka saya ingatkan kepada para penonton, sekiranya anda mempunyai sebarang soalan dan pertanyaan, terus sahaja ajukan di ruangan komen di bawah untuk saya bacakan semasa sesi Q&A sebentar lagi. Baiklah, tanpa melengahkan masa lagi, saya berjumpa Puan Emilia. Silakan Puan.
Hai, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning, selamat pagi. First of all, thank you for UPM to invite me this morning. Ya, so kita akan teruskan kepada topik kita pada hari ini. Topik yang menarik ni, Syazana. Ya. So
betul Puan.
Betul tu. Memang menarik sungguh topik kita pagi ni sebab topik yang rasa-rasa kat masing-masing nak tahu jugalah macam mana ni. Sebab PKP pun dah sambung lagi ni kan.
Betul.
Ya, saya nak share dulu. Okey, topik yang kita akan bincangkan ataupun kita yang akan presented today is challenges in facing the new norm of employment. Cabaran mendepani norma baru dunia pekerjaan dari aspek majikan. So I've seen for year 2020 this is something new for everyone, for the employees, for the employers. You know, we are adapting a lot of thing throughout this 2020 and now it's already February and we still actually having this MCO and PKPP and all that kan. So the agenda for today I will go straight because I'm pretty sure that there's a lot of question later on. So what we're going to talk this morning is three things. Number one, the impact of the new norms to our recent graduates, the employer challenges in the new norms, and of course the employability during this pandemic. So we're going to talk about these three things, tiga perkara ini, and please do ask me a question if you need some clarification or not. So if we see for the past, we call it 11 months, almost 12 months, this is the we call it statistic that actually I get from the agemarket.com. They have conducted the research. They have conducted the studies on the impact of the COVID-19 on the recent graduate throughout the 2020. You see here, the Department of Statistics Malaysia estimate about 300 to 350 fresh graduates will be enter the labour market this year. That's what they say. Kan? 300 people, 350,000 fresh graduates going to enter the job market. So it had also in the country unemployment rate peaked at 5.3 in May and it is of 4.7 in July. Okay, why is this so? Because we know the first round of we call it MCO, we can see the challenges in businesses and we can see business restructuring, kan? Business closed down and I think people get laid off. So we have a lot of unemployment happen. So when this unemployment rate happen, all this experience people get laid off from job. And they also tough. Is it tough for these we call it unemployed people to actually get a new job? So even with their we call it experience, expertise, qualification, working, all these experience that they have, it's tough for them to get a job. How about the fresh graduate? Yeah, because fresh graduate, even though you a graduate, they say you can pay them less, but the experience needed in the we call it job market, especially when it requires companies and employee to communicate through online like this. Yeah. So in nearly 7,500 people are still employed up to today. Ramai tu, right? So there's the study that made by the hrmarket.com. They are talking. They actually do this. The looking into the different view from student, employee, and unemployed youth. Yeah. If you see from one being confident, number 5 being most confident. So they are talking about how confident are these people, these 3 different categories: students, the current employees, and the unemployed youth, to get the job, to get to be employed, yeah, in this coming year. So let's see, how confident are you about finding the job you want in Malaysia? This the question they ask. If you see, the result shows that 38.6%, 38.6% students say, okay, maybe, yeah, maybe they will actually get the job, because they are not sure. They are not sure where are they, where they are now. Can they get the job if, let's say, they graduate this year, if they graduate next year? They say, okay, maybe can get the job, right? The second question, the second group that they ask is the current people who are actually employed. How confident they for them to keep in the job. So you mean how confident the employer will not retrench them. So the answer, if you see here, the answer is likely 4. Yeah, 35.3%. They say, okay lah, the employer will keep me. Yeah, the employer will keep me because my job is important, you know. The task that I've been given still needed in the organization. The third one, yeah, they ask the unemployed, the people who graduated from university, yeah, they leave school, but how confident are you about finding the job you want in Malaysia? So, yeah, the job that they really like, the job that what you call it, the job that to what they actually expected to get, because maybe they studies a certain we call it core subject. How sure they are? I think almost everyone, they're not sure either they're going to get the job that what they actually learn in university. So from there we can see from the first from this we know from the second study, the second question just now, people just take any job. They just take any job that actually available, because they say this is not the time to be choosy anymore, right? But deep in their heart, I think this also some of the questions, some of the topic that we discuss outside, can we basically work what we learn? Should we learn this if we cannot get the job? So this is the question and all that, right? So come back to our main topic today, because first one we talk about how sure is all these young graduates going to get the job that they want, going to get a job based on what they studies. We talk about employer challenges in facing this new norm. I myself, as an employer, I myself running a business, we have quite a tough time. Yeah, this year I'm sure there's other company out there also have a tough time in facing these challenges of their new norm, right? The first challenges that most of the companies or the employer had is how to build a dynamic team culture. Yeah, how they can get this we call it the team that really can work if, let's say, they've been asked to work from home. How to build the team with the very we call it passionate about their job, their task, if they cannot sit together and discuss, right? So one of the we call it the advantage of being together as a team in the office is opportunity to engage with your co-workers, to engage with the to collaborate face to face, to discuss, to see. We have a meeting, and then when there is a challenges, we can call for meeting. We can pick up the phone and say, and then because sometimes the colleague or the project manager is just beside us, but with the new norm, things change. Yeah, people are no longer can travel, to office, not that frequent as it is. Even though they can travel to office, they also have challenges if let's say their house is not located in the area, same daerah, right? So they need letters, some of that, and then some of the industry you need to do swab test. So this is the challenges for the company to make sure that the productivity and also the teamwork does to actually to support the productivity of work. And please bear in mind, some company have shrink down or even restructure their company to have less people to do the same work, maybe, to do the same scale work but with less people. So without the strong team, without a strong team to actually to work things out, it make difficulty for the employers to ensure the productivity is there, right? And of course, another thing, when if let's say the employer need to opt for the work from home or a remote working condition, some of the challenges that the employer have is actually the connection, the network, the interaction. The interaction in terms of lagging, internet lagging. Like today, I mean, they are office because normally during weekend I cannot have a live internet meeting, what I mean, the online meeting from my home, because everyone at home, and we're going to have like network at home, so I need to be in the office. So this is one of the main challenges I think in Malaysia, because sometimes the network is not that good, so it makes difficult for people to have a meeting. If one to one, still I think is okay, it's reasonable. But just imagine if let's say you have a group meeting and suddenly you drop one of your colleague drop, and they are actually he or she are the one who do the presentation, so it will they actually disturb and interrupt the whole meeting. Another disruption that we can see, the common disruption down because of the environment, the environments of the either the employee or the superior, the home environment. Yeah, sometimes at home we have several. Not everyone stay alone, right? So we stay with the family, and it good enough if we have family of working mothers, working fathers, children in university, children at school, who eventually every single of them have something to do with the online study, online working, meeting, and all that. And with the confined house space at home, you can see the communication online can be a little bit tough, because they try to find spot at home so they can actually have all these we call it a better online communication that can have. And every single meeting, classes, and all that happen at the same time. So this is one of the challenges that they have. Yeah, the other on top of that, of course, we have we call it parent, especially parents and mothers who could not basically get the children to nursery, for example, if they have babies. That also would eventually disturb the whole work from home issue here, the work from home. So they cannot send their children, they don't have a helper, so they need to take care. And toddler from 1 to 3, 4 years old, they keep coming to you, all these things. This is the challenges for the employee, which actually impact the employer. They cannot have that. Of course, personally, I think several months ago, I received the call from this, I think, telemarketing person, right? Telemarketing person. While we are basically talking, I can hear the toddlers, sounds, calling mommy, mommy, mommy. And then I asked the person, say, are you working from home? And then she said, yeah, I'm working from home because I can hear the children, disturbing the mothers and all that. This is one of the things that sometimes will disturb the whole dynamic, the process of the productivities of the company. Okay, another challenges that company could have in this new era or new norm is to keep their digital office secure. We know that company have a lot of data and some data are sensitive. Some data are very, very sensitive. Yeah, I think this is also one of the issues when actually earlier on in initial stage of MCO, we are talking about at that time there's one platform. You cannot use this platform because the data leak in the black market and so on. And bear in mind, not all companies, right, having their what you call it data online or on cloud. Yeah, even though if they have on cloud, maybe the data not so sensitive, they can have that on cloud. But during to keep the digital of the data secure, this is one of the challenges for the company, especially if the company SME, a small medium enterprise. They usually don't keep that data on cloud. It's very difficult to share data between one person to another, and that make that we call it work to make the whole entire industry to work. It's not be easy for them, especially for the employee to actually pass, because we cannot be having this email going on here, because sometimes you need the more discussion and do things together, but this data can actually be transferred from one to another, and then it can leak either through email, or even though you have club, not everyone. Yeah, not everyone, especially when you actually work from home and you have in the organization, they can control their what you call it their server, right? Because all the data through you one server, you can see who's actually emailed out and all that. But if let's say the workers or the employee actually work from home, they use their own data at home, and normally data at home not as secure as it did, because not all of us actually colleague will change our password every now and then, compared to when actually we work from the office. So keeping the digital office secure is another challenges for the employer, and some employers opt to call all the employee to come back to work, and go back to the we call it the first challenges that we have just now, whereby it's not easy for the employee to come back to work as well, because they have other we call it other challenges at home. For example, like getting we call it helpers to take care of the young kids and all that. Right? To the third one, right? Avoiding the employee burnout. This is something that I observed. In fact, yesterday I was talking to my sister, right? When you work from home seems like, okay, everything is good. We can actually have more time at home, but sometimes certain work will require you to work over the time, right? Because work from home, right? Because the data need to be sharing. There's a lot of communication going on. I think meeting can happen, like maybe last time you only have one meeting per day, but for this particular project you will have like every other hours meeting, because you need to communicate a lot, right? So it will basically drag the time to complete certain tasks given to the employee. So at the end that the employee will actually have a bunch of work, a bunch of tasks that not it can't be completed because they are busy attending online meeting, one meeting after another. So that will actually cause them to actually work after their office hour, for example. Yeah, because they need to complete the task, they need to complete to complete the project actually given to them. And with the confined space, they work too long at home. They have to actually manage all this noise, the disruption, the interruption. They also can, because I think now when people are talking about the mental healthness issue. Yeah. So, and for employer, when this thing happen, when they cannot gauge what is happening on over the other side, the employee, because in the office sometimes you can see if your employee are stressed, you can see from the body language, you can see from the communication that you have, you can see either that is really a performance issue, or basically, the other stress, the stress that happen around the employee. As an employer, normally when we actually have this face-to-face talk, we can say, okay, this is something that happen at home, not because they're not perform, they cannot do their job. But just imagine now we are actually working through this working remotely. We cannot see what the other person or our employee facing in their day-to-day time, because they are at home. So to these also become a challenges for the employer, because it's very difficult for them to gauge either this person are not performing or this person basically having difficulty in adjusting to this new norm. So these three main point that I have said. Of course, there's a lot of reason and factor why the new norm have the challenges from the employer side. But let's go to the studies. There is a studies, we call it made by talking about this, a study by the HRD Asia. Now, almost 7 in 10 Malaysian employees said working from home should be part of the new normal. Right? Almost 7, 10. So, we mean for Malaysian, we are basically really we are open to the idea of working from home. However, only half the employee, 56%, are supportive on the extending the benefit. Overall, the study said that many employees, 64%, face challenges while working from home during the country movement control order, the first, MCO. And I'm sure up to date, some of them still face the same challenges, because we still face the same interruption in our network, lagging in our network, for example. We still have face the challenges in having this face-to-face communication or real communication, right? Heart-to-heart communication, open communication, because there is a barrier, when we actually work from home or we actually work remotely. And of course, if you see here, the three difficulties cited by the employees, and this is the survey, the survey to the employees in Malaysia. Now, 61% say that network or connection issues is their main problem. I think we have also discussed what is the employer, one of the challenges of the employer. The same thing. When there is network and connection issues, the communication, the open communication, the job, the project cannot be basically executed as smooth as it is. It will be a lagging delay, because there's a lot of communication need to actually do via online. Another 14% said communication barrier. When there is no face-to-face communication, especially young people, especially young graduates, compared to those actually in the work is already employed, maybe before even MCO, before even COVID-19 arrived, they at least know the person in person, right? They know their boss, the boss know the subordinate. So basically, we understand each other working culture, we understand each other habit, So for the employee, it's very easy, or it's kind of easy for them to manage, because different subordinate, as a manager, we will manage that differently, because some subordinate need this kind of management, the other subordinate need this kind of management. But just imagine this a young a graduate who actually joined the workforce, and the interview is done by online, for example, right? And then the first day working also by online, and this person, the new people, not even know who's the boss, in person. Is very difficult for them to learn their managers' working culture or working habit. It's very difficult for them to understand what is the instruction be given to them. They are young, they are fresh, they need guidance, they need what you call it, people to mentor them. But mentoring and can, but it quite challenges. There is a challenges in actually mentoring over this screen. For example, like now when I'm presenting, I'm not sure who basically watching this presentation. Now, the communication barrier, that's a huge problem over there. And of course, the lack of technology readiness. Um, we have adapted a lot of technology. I think for this online communication or online, there's a lot of platform out there. But not everyone, not every single of us are technology driven people. Some of us, maybe the young people, the young graduates is still okay because you used to have video chat, all these things. But there's maybe most of the bosses or most of the managers, sometimes they are not technology literate lah, we say, right? So they also trying to adapt to the new things, how to use, for example, Zoom, how to use Google Meet and all that, where to how to share the file, how to keep the file in the share folders. And here they have these young graduate who really come to workforce, then they need to be mentored. They need to be mentored as well. So this is due to challenging because to balance up the technology, the new technology that they need to adapt, they also learning, but at the same time how to basically mentor new people, how to guide new people to actually to work, to work effectively, to work efficiently. Okay? So what can you do in facing this new norm? Yeah, what can we do? There's of course as employee we have to actually learn a lot of things. Me personally, during this during this pandemic, we in our company we have changed a lot as well. Maybe last time we don't use cloud. Now all our documents in the cloud. To basically to complement the current conditions, so we have to subscribe cloud. We have actually to upgrade the we call it connection. We have to actually have revise back the SOP that we have, how to do work and all that. But as an employee, for example, as a young people who come to the company, right? How to adapt to the new situation. So what can you do in facing to this and So number one, this is very important. Yeah, prepare for your remote hiring and working. Now, when we talk about prepare for the remote, we call it hiring and working. Number one, we've been I think we talk about network connection. Yeah, network connection, good network connection to avoid all these connection issues, because I think one of the issue the employer issue, when the employee keep coming to them and say, okay, we cannot have this online meeting because my home connection, the internet in my home is good, for example. Or I cannot on the video because if I on the video, there's a lacking in this video chat or video meeting. Now, we already been there, I think almost 1 year for the whole 2020. I think moving forward, something that actually we need to understand and accept that we will work online, communicate online. Maybe this is what moving forward. So the reason of not getting the right connection or the right network could be could be improved, right? By maybe you have consider, if let's say you have this job, you really want to keep this job, you really want to assist the employer, or not to assist, basically to work to make sure that actually you get the to get the work done. And of course the employer will not have issue in talking about the performance drop when actually work from home, is by looking into subscribing the good network subscribing, because sometimes we have one and then utilized by everyone in the house, right? Maybe for our work purposes we might actually have one, especially when we have meeting. Maybe we can have that one specific that can that connect only to our computer, our desk, or then also can be utilized for others. For example, if let's say the children need to sit for the exam, so they need that special. So you might want to actually look into that to subscribe the strong network. Number two, to actually to consider to find the place, yeah, the house. If you're still young and still moving to the house, find a house that actually can give you that good connection, because I know some place, some location, the network is so bad, right? But don't keep struggling with that, because if you know this become like your daily thing, then you don't stay at the same house if you have actually bad network over there. Number two, design your virtual workplace. I will say design. So why I say design? Because we cannot be actually having sitting at the same place, because we know this is our daily thing, right? Maybe last time we just sit somewhere, we off our video, we just sit somewhere on our bed, at corner of our house and do work. But maybe we want to actually try to actually have a specific space in our house that we can convert into this, what you call it, like looking like an office environment, to motivate us as well, so we will not feel down. I know one of my friend basically convert the one part of the house to look exactly like office. So, and they actually make sure they did not go to the bedroom, or not even go to the kitchen during daytime, because they say I'm working. So they want to have this ambience that, okay, I'm working, so I'm not going to walk to the kitchen or except for lunch. So I try to actually discipline myself to stay. That's why I said discipline myself to stay at one place, until my lunch break, and then after that come back and stay there for until the next until 6 o'clock and all that. So you might want to actually look into that, right? So other than that, good lighting. Because I'm in office, you can see very bright here, but sometimes at home we have different lighting, right? So invest in a good lighting. It's not like what like you want to do presentation, but sometimes when we have this meeting among our colleague, we want to present our project to client. It's good to have this bright light, actually really show the ambience. We have office ambience, we have good lighting, we have a good a nice clean desk. It's like office. So this also come away all these will push away all the disruption, because we are in the office now. Other than that, I always said that prepare when we want to prepare for remote working, is always make sure that we are ready for any meeting. So any meeting does not mean that when you work from home, you just wear anything that you wear at home, right? Because from 9 to 6, if you work remotely, you are still working for a company. So in the nutshell, you're supposed to dress like you're working. If you need to put makeup, you have to put makeup, because I've seen some of the reason that the employee gives is, today I just wear t-shirt. Sorry, today I don't put on my lipstick. Sorry, I don't have my hijab on. Now you are working, you still have responsibility to the employer. Yeah, you still have responsibility to be online, to be able to on your video, so there is a face-to-face communication happen. So if you need to actually wear like you actually wear in the office, even though maybe you just wear jeans, but any kind proper attire out there with some for women, or some makeup or hijab on, you have to do that, because sometimes the way that we dress, the way that we dress at home also will impact the way that actually we do our job, right? Because we feel like so cozy, we at home and all that. So dress like we actually going to work on that particular day. So that is another good thing, right? So look into these. I think some employer will have this VPN. Yeah, VPN stand for Virtual Private Network, VPN, to create more secure connection. Sometimes they do have that. I remember those days when I still work with a multinational company, we have VPN in our desktop. So everywhere I go around the world, sometimes when actually I arrive in in Korea, for example, I on my laptop and here I can see my boss straight away texted me. So basically she knows that actually I already arrived in Korea. So allow that to happen, yeah, because we have to understand as well why employer need to monitor some of our movement, because as long as within these working hours. Right. Okay. Be prepared. Like I said, for video conference, like anytime if let's say they say, okay, we need to do meeting in 5 minutes. So no one actually come back. Oh, sorry, because I'm outside. I'm here. Because remember, you're still working, so you must prepare that you are working. So everything should be in order when you work. I think I talk a lot of at this we call it first line, because this is very important. Second, to establish a mutual rewarding relationship, but to within the bosses, colleague, and work culture and expectation. How you can do this? Of course, correct. Of course, in order for you to do this, remember, right? And now you do not know your company. If let's say you are you employed and you need to work out from the office, you need to understand their working culture. So always establish that mutual relationship. So it means you need to actually ask your immediate superior, how can I contact you? What is your comfortable level if I need to know something? We always remember that if let's say this, for example, our senior did not do that, our senior did not on the video, for example, let them be, because they are senior, they understand, they already read each other body language, they know each other working style. But for you, if you're still young, you just came to join the company, you need that connection. So always on your video, always ask your your new bosses or your immediate superior, how can I actually connected to you? Should I actually have a separate you call it a separate conversation? Can I actually call you during this hour to this hour? So always have built this. If you have are the one who actually attempt to make that connection, people or the company knows that you really want to learn something, because by having this good relationship or mutual relationship among this colleague and also your boss, you can learn a lot from them. Because remember, this is about learning and move forward in this, right? Okay. Always understand that once we given the task, yeah, accountability breed responsibility. So it means with this new norm, last time maybe we once actually given the task to you, then what you normally the junior will do, they will do some administration work on that, then straight away send to their boss. But now with all these remote or new way of working, it's very difficult because sometimes the time constraint, but the job, the task must proceed. So always have this accountability for yourself to actually check your job, to check your work, check in terms of check in terms of instruction, yeah, check into everything you actually fulfill the instruction, check in terms of spelling, check in terms of all these documents. So don't make just do things and send, and then after that when your boss look at it, or your senior look at it and then send back to you, hey, please please fix it and all that, and then after that come back to you and then you just do it ding dong, ding dong. This is not a good healthy practices, because it will really delay the job submission. Yeah. The accountability also mean that you've been trusted into the job. Yeah. So please take ownership on it. Right. It's good to actually to learn. Okay, to honor some job. Don't play blaming game. I don't know, because this one I given to to my boss. So basically, she or he will handle it. Always make sure that you have you fulfill your responsibility, right? Responsibility to fulfill, because you are still at the learning stage, right? It's good to actually read every single thing. So when you read, the more you read on your the work, the more you understand the project that you handle, not only the administration. When people give you a project, understand the whole project, the more you learn about the company, the more you learn about the company culture, the more you learn about the business, the product that your company offering. Yeah. Okay. Third, course consider, they always say that the problem isn't the problem is your attitude about the problem. We always have this, we're going to have these challenges. Challenges selalu ada, right? Even though you work in the office, you work remotely, or even though you at the senior level, every single of us are going to have challenges in at workplace. So the question is not about the challenges. The question is about the attitude, for our attitude to accept the challenges. Yeah. So this is not a good we call it year to look into finding what we like. Yeah, I do understand sometimes we want to do this, but we try to apply job that that suit whatever that actually we graduate that we actually graduate. I want to be this, I want to be this, but this is not the time, right? But take this opportunity. If you get a role, let's say you take the job that is not what you like, the job that is not what you study, but take this as your learning ground. Always learn, like I said just now, learn about the company, learn about the product, learn about the services, because with all this new skill about the experience or about the information that actually you learn, we're going to help you moving forward. Yeah. So always consider to work outside of your specialty, of your comfort zone. By talking to through this online platform. Not many of us actually done that before, for example. But with this current condition, with this current condition, every single of us need to learn how to do presentation, with the people watching you, because you're not sure are the people watching you or not, right? So we have to actually learn to adapt to this situation. We need to learn to how to actually manage our behavior towards the challenges that we have. I know some of the young people nowadays, they say, okay, this is a work-life balance. I will do this. It's our right to have the work-life balance. I always believe that we can have our work-life balance if we can have a good attitude in doing our job. If we do, let's say, if we completed our job by the time frame that given without any mistake, we can have more time to actually to go back to our personal life and do other things that we have, rather than actually we keep actually fixing the things, redo our proposal and so on. So this is another thing that we can look into, and of course managing productivity. I think 2 slides before I'm talking, I actually did mention about sometimes it will stress out for the employee, because we need to really manage the job after office hour, for example, right? So productivity hours is very important, because now no one control you. There is no immediate manager to control your time. Yeah, because you are basically on your own. You are the manager of your own work. You are manager of your own tasks. So managing productivity hours is very important, because you need to start to have your time planning. Because I'm sure not everyone actually using book like myself, because I'm still prefer to use this something that you can write. But there's a lot. You have your mobile phone can actually have this time planning. You can have tasks. You can have organize things. Yeah, organize. Okay, what to go first? What is the priority? Or your job, for example, right? Don't one thing for sure, you don't over promise and over promise and under promise and over deliver. Because I think sometimes people say, oh, you over you under promise, and later you deliver, then you can boom, you can actually have better. Always see, can I deliver this? Have this open communication. If you think that actually, this cannot be done, talk to your manager and discuss when basically I can submit. Don't say yes, yes, yes on the day itself. You cannot actually produce that, or you cannot even submit that. In my earlier days in corporate, I also have that kind of challenges. Yeah, some of the employee that actually have, they promise, okay, I'm going to send this, and then the end of the day they do not send. So always see, because if you really do the time planning well, get organized well, basically you roughly know what is your timeline to finish or to complete the task. I talk about create and follow a regular schedule. I think just now I did mention that. Your working hours 9 to, for example, 6, you have break in between. Do like what you in normal condition, yeah, display. No one actually watching you when actually you work remotely, but we ourselves can actually do that. Because the same thing that we in university, then when there is a schedule for our class, right, the same thing can happen in our work, but this time no one basically monitor you, because you are the one who monitor yourself to manage that we call it productivity hours. Yeah. um always remember, the when you want to manage your productivity hours, always also manage your other colleagues. So always ask them, okay, where is the best time for me to to contact you and all that, because we have to understand that everyone have their we call it productive hours that they need to manage to. Okay, that's another point that I would like to highlight. Do not rely on memory. Takes note. Uh, this is commonly happen common happen in the young people who actually come and work in the company. They just walk in, they don't take any notes, and then after that they go back to their place and do what you call it their work, and then they come back, it's not what as per expected, and then they bring back and redo back the whole proposal, the whole work. Always takes note, because they cause memory. So every single thing is actually discussed over either online or over the phone, or even though if you actually have face to face, always take notes, because this note might not actually help for that particular project, but it might actually help on the later part of the project, or maybe other projects. So always take notes, and with this note, basically you can learn your what you call it your other people's, or even your superior working style from these notes. So when you actually put these notes together, then you can basically can gauge what type of person actually they are. They are very the very stingy is numbers, for example, right? If you have a very superior that actually maybe an accountant, so they really want to know numbers. So every single proposal must come with the comparison, yeah, with the number, with the exact, with the correct calculation and all that. If let's say the person very I would call it very detailed, for example, right? Some of the superior very detailed, or they really want to structure English, for example, some. So you can basically with this note learn about others. Yeah, you can learn about their working style. You can learn about their expectations. So write it down, write it down. So things not their course memory. That's what Emerson say. Okay, next. IQ get you hired, congratulations. But EQ gets you promoted. Because when we work, we want to climb that corporate ladder. We want to actually learn something. We want to, we want to improve ourselves. We want to be as effective, as efficient that we can be. So, but you must have this EQ, right? So what EQ? Self-awareness. I mean, take responsibility on every words and action. So don't always say, blame others. Okay, I don't know, I just knew, I cannot have this because, I'm at home, there is no document. There's always way to get information. Like I said, always develop that, positive relations between you and your superior, between you and your new colleague. Remember, if let's say if happen you are higher through online, it will be tougher for you to actually get to know them. So always build that, the relations. I always build that trust. Other than that, self-regulation, have a little control. We call it control on whatever you experience flexibility. So you need to control, like I said just now, you have to come up with the we call it your schedule, and try to fix it, try to actually follow your own schedule. If you say, okay, this from this one, for this one I'm going to do this, so you need to actually manage your personal, for example, if you have children at home, so manage the children, how to manage that. I have gone through all these, when you don't have a helper to assist, support, that's when actually you need to communicate with your partner. For example, if you at home, you have a younger sibling, you need to talk to them how to actually, okay, during this time, to please don't disturb me, please don't come into the room, yeah, because so this is a thing that you need to actually manage. Other than that, empathy. Okay, empathy is not is about to understand how the other, put yourself into other people's shoes. There's when you actually want to send your work, for example, your paper, you must make sure, okay, if the person read this, what is the question can arise from this, what my boss will ask, you think. So from there, every time you actually ask that, you can improve your paper before you submit. The same thing when you want to contact your client, you want to contact your immediate superior or even your senior, because you need some help, right? Because we still new, always think, okay, what is the best time? So ask them, and then fix the time, and then you call them. So this are good to have this empathy, yeah? And of course understand others challenges as well. Yeah, not all of us, sometimes I can give one of the good, but to be inclusive, to understand what is the other people going through, right? Sometimes some of us actually have our, for example, at home we have our room to ourselves, so we can actually just close the door and work. Some of us need to share, so this is the thing that uh, for the young people, or for the even the workers like us, to communicate openly before we start. And we also talk about teamwork, right? And that one of the challenges, I think, for the employer to have the productive team. Remember just now, right? So we must be a team player. Then we can make our dream work after we make our employer dream work. Yeah. The productivity will, the good productivity will give business to the company, and business to company means there's some reward, reward for the employee as well. Yeah, always set and respect the boundaries of other colleagues, of the clients and all that. Yeah, many people struggle in setting the boundary for themselves. Yeah, because they say, okay, I'm at home. I prefer to stay. I prefer to be easy, leisure. Kind of wearing t-shirt. It's okay, as long you can actually manage your motivation. Is okay. But if you think you still need some help and all that, dress properly, for example. So this is the thing that actually to be part of the team. Yeah, encourage for the collaboration. Always collaborate. Uh, Especially when we are still new. Right? We need support, we need guidance, but you cannot expect the managers, the superior to come, okay, to guide you. Sometimes you need to come to them and ask them questions. There is no, I think, like you always always say this, that there is no stupid question, right? Always ask question. But what I realized from the young generation, they don't really like to ask question. That's number one. But sometimes they also do ask question, but repeat question. They keep repeating the question. Why? Because they don't take notes. All right. So they keep that. So sometimes after 3 to 4 times, your superior or your bosses will say, "Eh, why you keep asking the same question?" Um, right? So always remember that working in the team, basically what we do is actually we share our values. We have this mutual trust among us, among the team, among the project team, among the what do you call it, the leaders, for example. We also inspire to have inspiring vision, improve our skill, and also finally with all these people, it will actually come give a reward to the company and reward to yourself as an employee. And but always keep learning. I found that this new, what you call it, we call it the new way, new norm, allow us to learn a lot. if you see, they basically close the gap of this learning point. Last time you need to sit for the training, 8 hours training, for example, right? You need to actually go to the classes, you need to go to training room, and then for the whole of the whole, maybe 2 days, 1 day, that you sit and learn from one. But now with this technology advancement, you can have a lot of training, sharing session via online. You not even actually can go, you need to go out from your work. You can just sit and facing your laptop or computers, and you can just learn, right? You can, also, I can see the trend that there's a lot of complimentary session going on during this MCO. Take that opportunity, take that, the advantage that actually learn from people, learn from the people who not the same level as you, for example, the people that seniors, you can pursue this education, you can pursue this learning, not only when you're in university, but you also can actually do during your, working time. Just matter how you manage your time, yeah, remember productivity. And you also can seek online support from the community. There's a lot of communities out there. If let's say you're actually working with this, you can actually join the communities in WhatsApp group. There is a Telegram. There's a lot of communities pertaining to job, to the industry that you can join. So the when you expand your networking, so basically there is all your information, your mentoring session, your coaching session happen at the same time. As you learn from the employers, your seniors, you also learn from others who actually in the same industry as you. Okay? Um, Final, of course, but not least, there's if you see the Warren Buffett quote, look for these three things in a person: intelligence, energy, and integrity. If they do not have the last one, don't even bother with the first two. That's what he said. So when we talk about integrity, what is integrity in business mean? Most of the people understand integrity when you do something that against the company rules and regulation. Yeah, that against the company rules and regulation, conflict of interest. This is what people always talk about. Yeah, how strong your moral by not taking bribe. But when we talk about integrity, it's more than that. Yeah, that one of course is a surface, but it's more on our within. If you heard that to integrity is about when you do things without people watching. So the responsibility, the question will go back to you. Yeah, if you actually need to work away from your superior, away from your company, are you really work completing your task, or basically you do some other things that actually not related to your task. Yeah, if you can actually understand the integrity concept in doing your work as a person, basically I don't think we need office anymore, because everyone can work everywhere, any part in the world, because once we actually have the integrity, people don't have to monitor, but we always make sure that we are being productive as requested or as required by the company. To summarize the presentation before we go to the Q&A session, with Shazana. So despite of the challenges above, yeah, I personally believe that remote working, or even though working during this new norm, is rewarding, because we have actually come from zero to something else. Yeah, before this we don't really understand or really accepting the concept that actually work. You don't have to see each other to work, but now we actually accept that. Before this, maybe we are not really keen into using this online communication platform, but now we are communicating through it. We even learn, we even actually sit in this webinar, without actually seeing face to face, but we still can actually deliver what we need to deliver. So if you really actually look into this as something that actually we look forward in the future, that's good because we can basically maintain the best environment that can we have, that we can have personally and also as a professional with the higher productivity. So go out there, explore the work, explore the new norm, keep productive, keep communicate to people, keep talk to people, and be prepared for the new world coming. With that, thank you very much.
Okay, Puan, di soalan yang pertama,
Oh, ada terus soalan.
um, what is the effect on economy for the employee itself during the pandemic?
Sorry, I can't.
What is the effect on economy for the employee itself during the
For the
pandemic?
employee? Oh, okay. The impact of the economy of the for the employee. Now, when we talk about impact of the economy for the employee, if you can see, in terms of impact the economy for the employee, we go back to the employer, right? So now the economy is not that we call it great, especially now. That's why you can see there's a lot of companies restructure, yeah, restructure their businesses and all that. Because so when they restructure the businesses, they also have challenges in doing certain things. So the challenges are to keep higher professional, to keep higher certain what you call it, skill that they have. That is the challenges for the employer. Then for this for the employee, the challenges for the employee, because of that they have challenges as well, because they cannot do, for example, at some level they cannot do overtime, for example, because not all employees actually earn a lot. Sometimes they just earn bare minimum, right? Minimum. So without actually ever additional, what you call it, additional work hours, they cannot do overtime. They cannot get some allowances and all that. There's the challenges to that. But what the government did is actually they reduced what you call it, the contribution, right, from 11 to 7 and moving forward now for 9%. It's good because they can still earn that much, but now the saving become less. So if you actually notice recently, the EPF also, they allow the employee to actually withdraw their EPF. That's meant for meant for the senior who already maybe work for many years, so they have that amount of extensive amount, not extensive, like some amount to withdraw. But how about young people like you, like you guys? You just started working, you cannot withdraw anything, right? From EPF, for example. But of course, there is a other benefit that given to the young people. But still, yeah, for young people, what is the impact to you is you have less saving, right? But the expenses still the same, because once you come into the job market, the expenses will be like other people. You still need to keep this, and with some of the point that I highlighted, you need to have good internet. You need to, all these need expenses, right? For young people like you guys, and then macam mana ni, right? So the impact is always there. Right, the impact is always there. That's why I said, because we need to adjust. Yeah, the company need to adjust. So do the young people. So hopefully this answer your question.
Okay, next question. What is our colleagues keep making the same mistake, giving an excuse to be in a virtual meeting, and how can we solve this? How can we solve this problem by telling this to that person?
Okay, that's a good question. Actually, this question also pop up in my previous webinar for other university. The same question. What if there is always excuses? They don't want to come for virtual meeting, right? And then they don't come. They don't want to come to the virtual meeting. They say I have other things here, or and then when people try to actually postpone the meeting, the same thing happen. You know, it's very difficult to set the meeting because only this one or two person keep giving the same excuse. Right, cannot, internet not so good, kind of that. Now, always remember everyone, is number one, point just now. Always remember everyone have their own challenges, right? Everyone have their own challenges. Either challenges that they can't do the job, or maybe others external factors that actually give that actually have that make them have that challenges, right? Everyone have challenges. Number two, some people, they not only they have external factor challenges, they also have some we call it their own challenges. For example, in technology savvy, sometimes they are not sure how to on, but they are shy to they shy to admit, hey, I didn't know how to use this, right? So sometimes people do that. They are not familiar. So for them, every meeting must go, face to face. But you will face this with those actually really at the certain level if we did not really want to actually open up. So how to actually manage these two? Yeah, people who really have external factor, and of course internal idea, they are not sure, or they are not technology savvy, not either themselves or always have this communication. Remember, I said just now, open communication. Always come back to them. Don't ask in the group why you don't want. You know how people when normally say, hey, why you don't want? It's very easy. No, one of that group, you can actually find one of that circle, especially when you have this group meeting. Yeah, the one that the most approachable. Ask them, can you please WhatsApp PM to PM? Ask, what can we do to accommodate? Are you actually have problem? So if let's say they say, oh, internet is my problem, okay, if you cannot, maybe you can send the file to me. I will on the slide for you. You just present. You never know, some people having a tough time to share the file, right? This is the reality that we need to accept. Some people can change like this. They are very agile. Today the government say, okay, we work from home. Dia angkat je laptop, dia jalan. Some people say, oh, I need to take my file, I need to take it. So they actually end up going home, like they basically resign, kan? The whole box they bawa balik, right? So different people have their different working styles. So understand what is their concern, because if we keep pushing them, sometimes we cannot actually make the work done. So we need to understand the whole situation and try to help them from there. I hope I answered that question.
Okey, Puan, seterusnya seperti yang kita tahu, di musim pandemik yang telah dibuat pekerjaan, and what is your opinion about it? Are the employee necessary needs to do that?
Employee, you mean employer, is it?
Yeah.
Majikan, right? Oh, necessary, tidak. Okay.
Yeah.
That's very tough question. Necessity to do that. Okay, now, from the employer point of view, right? Time are tough. I do understand time are tough. Sometimes the decision that the employer made is actually based on the business itself lah. Yeah, on the business itself. Are they supposed to actually keep going, forward, maintaining this business with the tough time, during tough time, or they should actually just close down the business and let's go and do something else. Time that tough. But as an employer, I always believe that before we decide, to restructure our business, or even though to actually to close down, or to do this retrenchment and all that, there's a lot of things to be considered. Is it this necessary or not to actually to do this, or is this the only way to do this, to make sure that we survive? Is it the only way? Because there's so many ways. I know that some employer during the first MCO, when they announce straight away, they cut the employee, right? That one everyone knows. I think is kind of open secret now. Yeah, the moment the government now announce a PKPB or PKP MCO, straight away remove. Remember, we do not know where our business go to, right? Personally, I say sometimes we need to sit back, replan, look into the whole thing. Is this the right business decision? If this is the right business decision, what's next? Yeah, what's next? Can our people be reskilled to do other things? That's number one. If they can, why not? Because they've been with us. We know their working style. We know the way that they work. We know it's much more easier for us to reskill rather than retrain. Not train the new people come in, right? Yes, maybe salary is one of the issue. I think most of the company, the salary, because the salary at the high peak, right? But there's always a way of to communicate with people, right? Now come back to the okay, it's before that. And if we don't know if, let's say, after all this happen, new norm and all that, suddenly our business pick back. Tengok-tengok staff semua dah hilang sebab Ali dah kena terminate, Ahmad dah bye-bye, Aminah also say bye-bye. Then no one actually working with us. And we have another challenge. We have job, we have business, but no one actually work. There's no one working. And then when we try to do recruitment takes time. And we take young graduate need mentor. Young graduate needs someone to guide them. And here we are struggling because we don't have seniors to actually to guide them. And young people like you, young graduate, you have tough time. You come to the company, you don't know anything. You're supposed to learn from someone, and yet you actually need to do other things. So I always believe that actually look into the totality, from employer side to before decided either we want to actually to go for the that one decision. And for the employee, either you are current employee, you are a senior, you've been in the industry for many years, or even though you're new, we need to actually change the attitude. The attitude that tak apalah, it's okay. It's okay because now the success of the organization is your success. Yeah, because we know it's very hard to get a job out there, especially in this current condition. So we need to actually ask ourselves, should we be part of the company? If we be part of the company, if this company is ours, so what we're going to do to help the company? If let's say this company is ours, if we work for the company, right? Of course, we are afraid the company to going to close down, right? So we ask ourselves, should I also think about helping the company is basically helping myself? Yeah. So hope that answered the question.
Okay, puan. Last soalan untuk sebelum kita mengakhiri session kita hari ini. How can we manage our times once we are work from home?
Wow, manage time. Okay, manage the time depends very from one to another. Yeah, see how we basically do our scheduling, our manage our discipline, to follow the time. Like always, people, I always heard it because this is always coming from my mother, right? We only have 24 hours a day. We will never have 36 hours, 42 hours. Never can happen kan? Jam tu tetap sama, pusing. But it's all about how we plan things. First we have to see our goals. What is our goal? What is our objective? Especially I think women kind of eventually they will actually know how to manage things well but what is our goal? The goal now is actually to make a living if you are working, right? That's our goal. Tak ada orang kerja sebab apa, sebab dia suka-suka nak kerja, because everyone need to work because we have commitment, we have the commitment, we need to pay something and all that. Okay, first that is the goal. We need to actually to create income, we need to actually earn something. But at the same time, we also have other things. We have personal life, we have friends, we have families, we have children if you are married, and so on. right? So there is the the other part of the goal to success in life, to success in profession, to profession. So first we have to actually look into this, how we can fit all this time, prioritize. Yeah, once you prioritize first, you actually set your goal. Second, you put your time, yeah, your schedule, your time, and you prioritize what you need to do. Personally, I can see that I do understand not easy, yeah, not easy to actually to work from home, especially with all these challenges. But for me, because my experience in juggling between profession and career and studies, because I did my studies all through part time. I never go to university full time. Yeah, I worked after SPM, and then after that I completed all my degree and master while I'm working. So managing time and while working with kids and without maid also at one point in time. So can be done, can be done. But if let's say we don't write, we don't put into the plan, it's like the complete plan, right? We don't put the plan, okay, where we want to go, and after that we discipline ourselves to follow the plan, because we do the plan, we do the schedule, we need to be discipline ourselves, and we follow through. Because along the way, just imagine working like Shazana asked just now. Is it difficult? It's difficult, but remember, we travel from house to office. It takes you 1 hour, for example. If we stay home, we have that 1 hour free, right? So what we're going to do with that 1 hour of our commuting time before? So if let's say before this we wake up at 5:30 to go to work, yeah, because of the jam, because of the jam. So now we still have to work from home or remote. We still need to wake up at 5, but we actually fulfill that time for other things, right? Hope this answer.
Okey Puan, terima kasih. Terima kasih atas pengkongsian yang sangat menarik sebentar tadi, dan terima kasih juga kerana sudi meluangkan masa bersama-sama dengan kami hari ini Puan.
Okay, terima kasih. Hai.
Jadi terima kasih juga kepada penonton kita pada hari ini yang setia bersama-sama dengan kita dari pukul 10 pagi tadi sehinggalah sekarang. Sebelum saya mengakhiri slot saya pada hari ini, jangan lupa untuk follow Facebook CEM UPM untuk mengikuti update terkini festival ini dan yang semestinya memberi manfaat kepada anda semua. Saya doakan anda semua diberikan kesihatan yang baik dan semoga kita dapat memutuskan rantaian COVID-19 dan kembali seperti sedia kala. Jumpa lagi pada pukul 3 petang nanti dengan topik yang lebih hangat lagi. Terima kasih. Assalamualaikum dan salam hormat.